Hello everyone and welcome to another video of UBOAT in the unstable version that's going to be the beta for the final release. Now, of course, you saw the previous video. I didn't read probably the documentation of the new release. I didn't know all the things that were new, but I have done some reading since then, and I have been playing and testing it since then, and I've realized that there's a lot of people who have problems with the TDC of this game, at least with this version and what's going to be the final version of the game as released. So, well, this is going to be an instance of how to use the TDC and what's what in the TDC screen. So, I'm pitted against a combo that's coming with one of those special missions that you have to sink a particular merchant, okay? And we are in a type UD. Now this is important because different submarines are going to have different TDC equipment. But let's begin by something really important. If you have no one in the TDC station, this button is going to be grayed out. You need someone, and it's going to be a leader officer in the torpedo calculator, the TDC station. So I'm going to target just one. Oof, they are close. Okay, first merchant is this one. Second merchant is this one. Okay. I'm going to go with the first one, this one here. Okay. As soon as you lock a ship, you will see that there are different things here. Okay, I'm going to stop for a second. And right now what you have to do in order to calculate a proper manual solution, because of course if you are playing in a lower difficulty setting, you can give your officers the order to calculate the solution for themselves. But if you are going full realism, that's not an option. You have to do that on your own. And for the purpose of this video, well, we have a convoy that I know, because it's one of those contacts that they give you via radio, and the course and the speed. I know they are moving at 8 knots and they are going in a course of 80. Okay, that's particularly important in order to get yourself in front of the enemy. This is going to be a 90-degree attack, which is my favorite, but what you are going to see here is going to be applicable to any kind of attack. You see there are little lights here. So I know the speed is 8 knots. As soon as I enter a value here, no matter if it's with a tool or it's manually, like 8 knots, I have to send it to the TDC. And now the light is green. That means that the TDC is updated with the latest information that you have on the target. Okay? The course, we know is 80 degrees, particularly, well, we are going to do it just by eye. You can do two different ways, relative course or angle mode. Relative course is the course that this thing has relative to you. So if it's moving directly away from you, it's going to be 0. If it's going to move directly from left to right, it's going to be 90. If it's moving towards you, it's going to be 180. You get the drift. This thing is maybe at 120 or so set. And that gives me an AOV of 63, which I think is not that bad actually. Should be 80, 70, 60, it's a little bit more, but we are going to go with this for the time being. And I'm going to send it to the TDC station. There it is. Finally, distance. I don't have it. Okay, I have to recognize it. Yeah, 2 stacks in the back is an Empire Town, and now I can calculate the distance standard way and send it to the TDC. Okay, now we are going to go to the TDC. Intimidating, right? Well, not so intimidating, because if you hover over each one of the things, it tells you what it is. Of course, you can be German and know what all these things say, which I don't. But particularly, I mean, it's self-explanatory. I'm going to still tell you what each dial does. Okay, up on the left, you have the spread calculator. If you are going to send a spread of torpedoes, you enter the target length here, For instance, I think that thing is around 110 or so. So you put 110, and with the distance you have calculated the target and the length of the target, the TDC gives you a spread that puts 2 or 3 or the number of torpedoes you are shooting on the target. This one would be 1.1. Over here, if you want to know what of these dials does, go to the UBOATopedia, and here comes everything properly explained. It tells you of all the different versions of the TDC there are, and how to enter all the values and what everything does. But of course I'm going to explain it because this is a video explaining it. Okay, first of all, up here, torpedo speed. Here you can change, going to stop, and you can change the speed of the torpedo you're launching. Standard is 30, and you can change at a higher speed because obviously your steam torpedoes can go faster. This is the bearing, okay, in degrees and minutes, I think, but the important one is here. You can see, if I unlink this from here, I'm going to tell you in a second what does that lever does. I'm going to move this here. I'm going to go there. Here, this little needle tells you where are you aiming at, and this one you do control. Okay, you can enter manually a bearing, or you can slave it to a device that you control. In this case, the UCO, and will track it. Okay, this level does that. In tracking disabled, enabled. So if you have a target locked, this will be updated on real time as your UCO, your periscope, whatever is looking at the target. You can do much more than that here. You can control it manually if you don't. For instance, if you are submerged and you don't want to put the periscope up, or you want to pre-aim a torpedo, maybe at a heading of 0 degrees, you can do it here. But for the most of the attacks, you are going to link it with the periscope of the UCO. Here you have the gyro angle. That's the calculation of your torpedo with the current settings you have entered about your target, how it's going to fire. Right now, with the settings I have, it's telling me that my gyro angle is 330. That means that if I fire, my torpedoes will steer leftwards towards an angle of 330, and hopefully they will hit there. Why is this important? Because you want to fire almost always as close to 0 as possible. When this little needle goes close to 0 is when you want to fire. Of course, that doesn't mean you have to, but is the most effective way to shoot torpedoes and in order to hit, especially with early war torpedoes, which are not very reliable. Here you have the parallax form mode. You have forward and backward. This is for your bow torpedo tubes or your aft torpedo tubes. If you are shooting at something behind you with your aft torpedoes in a Type 7, because in a Type 2 you don't have any aft torpedoes, you have to put it backwards, because otherwise you are not going to hit anything. This is the parallax correction. This is automatically done. You can touch it with this, don't touch it, just leave it in auto. Is a computation that the TDC does in order to correct the parallax error of the fact that you are taking measurements for the periscope, but the torpedoes are launched from the bow of your ship. Of course, the closer you are, the bigger the error. This is pretty important, and it's really important to correct in order to hit your target. Now here is the wheel of range. Here you can set the range of your target. These lamps tell you, well, this lamp tells you that if your system is unlinked from bearing receiving item, so it's the periscope, UCO, wherever, you have a blue light here. That means that it's in manual. Drop it down, light is off. Okay, and this light, what it does is tells you that your TDC values and the torpedo settings, the torpedo gyro angle are synchronized. If this is not on, this means that what the information you have on the TDC is not yet loaded on the torpedoes. Don't fire unless this lamp is on. Very important, because otherwise the torpedoes are not going to fire at the solution you have on your TDC. Now here you have the reflection angle. This is pretty much the difference between the bearing of the target when you shoot and the bearing of the target when you hit. Optimally, you hit, because of course you can still miss if your information entered is not correct. But this tells you that if I fire here, it's going to need a deflection angle of 13.4, which means that if I fire here, it's going to hit at 330 something. So is this bearing plus the deflection? Really not very important. Well, it's important for the calculation, but you don't need to know that all the time. This is very important. This is the angle bow. And the dial, which gives you the selection of the angle on bow of the target towards you. We have this at 363. I'm going to leave it there. And finally, the speed. Here you can enter the speed manually. You can click on the dial itself, set the 8 knots we know it has, and you can click on this little knob here and select the speed you want. Okay. Next thing, the lever, as I told you, unlock from periscope, UCO, etc., or lock. And finally, down here, you can launch torpedoes from this screen. It's not the most amazing thing to do. It's much better to do it from the periscope, but you can do a blind shot if you want to. The second stage of this screen is here. This is the switchboard of the torpedoes. In here, you choose what's the item that you are using to send the bearing to the TDC. It can be UCO, none at all, so pure manual bearing, the attack periscope, or the observation periscope. Don't sweat it. Don't sweat it. I mean, if you don't choose any, the system will choose automatically the one you're using. For instance, if I unlock this and I go to the UCO and I go back here, you will see UCO, but you can choose manually which one you want. Target gyro angle receiver, again, that is for bow launches or not. This is important. This is how you are going to shoot your torpedoes. You can choose off, so you are not shooting anything, to 1, to 2, to 3, or salvo. If you are shooting a salvo, you can choose no salvo, all the tubes, 1, 2, and 4. In this case, 1, 2. This is a type 2, so only 3 torpedoes. 1, 3, 1, 4, 2, 4. Again, remember that if you only have 3 torpedoes, the 4 doesn't do anything. And finally, active launch lever. This is to manually launch the torpedoes from the other screen. So if you are going to fire a salvo of 2 torpedoes, what we are going to do here is go click, 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 salvo, 1 and 2, and we are going to fire 1 and 2. And we can launch 1 and 3 as well. So yeah, we are going to do that. Okay, so back up here, you will see, oh, now this is off, this lamp is off. This lamp is off, also I have to, stop here. In my experience, the Type 2s are really stealthy, but I don't want to be seen by this guy. Yeah, that will kind of ruin this video, right? Super close. Yeah, again, this submarine, thankfully, is really, really small. We are giving him a very small profile, and I'm going to send a report, by the way. And hopefully he won't see us. I'm counting on it, in fact, because otherwise we are toast. We have another destroyer behind. Okay, I'm going to do a check around, because of course after this we have to escape. There's something here. Another destroyer over there. Another merchant here. Oof, another escort here, and that's going to come very close to me. Yeah, this is going to be tricky. Okay. Okay, stop. Very important, because we are coming close to the point we are going to shoot. Okay, now here you have to make a choice. Do you want to shoot with your periscope in tracking mode, or you want to shoot at a predisposed angle? For instance, what I usually do. And I mean, it's going to work whether you have this done or done like this or not. You can go here, disable, set the bearing to, well, you can check the flexion angle 13.7. So if we go to shoot directly in front of us, maybe 348. We are going to shoot at 348. We are in a perpendicular course. We can predict the angle on bow at that point. So it's going to be 90 minus those 13. So it's going to be 77 or so. There. Okay, this is not going to change at all. The last thing we need is going to be the distance, but the distance we have already checked, and we can check here. So the track, the distance is going to be 3.2. So we go back and enter 3.2. Again, it's a 90-degree angle attack. Doesn't matter a lot, but it's good practice to enter all the parameters for the time that you are not doing a perfect 90-degree attack, and range matters. Okay? Okay. You see, lights off. Oh, I forgot to do something. Unlock here and put your scope in the place you are going to shoot. We are going to shoot around here. There. Now we will have to, you see the needle points where your periscope is pointing at, and now we have to put the square there. We are going to shoot at roughly there. And you can see gyro angle 2, so I'd rather do that there. 1 and 3, 4, 5, and 3, 4, 5 is going to be an angle on bow of 75, gyro angle 0. Next thing, we have to make sure we have selected salvo, 2 tubes, and let's hit the map. And all you have to do is wait. I think we are correct. 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5. There. And now we have to do is to wait for this guy, which is the one we are targeting, to go close. Also, I want to begin moving again. I'm going to put electric motors and slow ahead. Electric motors for 2 reasons. I'm very close to an enemy destroyer. The smoke of the diesels can give us up, and also the electrics are slower, and I want to move slowly towards there. And we have another destroyer behind. This is dicey. Okay. Recheck. Everything is correct. Everything is ready. Okay. So this is the way you can do it on a predicted position. So you predict where you're going to fire, ideally on a shoot that requires a gyro angle of 0, but again, it's not needed. And you predict where you are going to shoot, when you are going to shoot. Thank you. You introduce the data of the predicted angle bow at the point you are shooting at the bearing that the target is going to be when you shoot, and you shoot there, and you are going to connect, and you are going to see it right now. Okay, this is moving from side to side all the time because this is a very smooth sea. Let's see, where is our target? There it is, moving closer and closer to the point where we are going to shoot. And there's another destroyer there. Oi oi. Okay. Now, doing this, you don't need to have anything other than this, okay? But actually, I have explained it. If you do it like that, I really don't need you to see it, because I have infinite videos with the old TDC mod doing exactly this, and I always connect. We are going to do it with it active. Okay, so lock it up, make sure UCO, yes, and now we need, the velocity is going to be constant, but the distance and the course we need to upload it all the time and update it all the time.
Aktualisieren.
This is type 2D. The type 2D and the type 2A and the type 7B, they all have this TDC. This is an older version of the S model that came later in the war in the type 7C. The type 7C had a lot of advantages over it. It allowed you to shoot accurately while on a turn, so if you were turning your nose, you could snapshot and the torpedoes would be accurate. With this TDC, it's not possible. It also had real-time update of the angle on the bow. So, as you were looking at the contact, the angle on the bow updated, and it was constantly telegraphed to the torpedo room. Not the case with this one. In this one, you need to constantly update your angle on bow.
Gegnerlage 3
Because
Grad.
now and then it will switch off and then you lose your angle on bow. Okay, it's going to be 80, 70, yeah, it's going to be 75 or so when we shoot. Because we are going to shoot at the
Schussunterlagen
at the same
aktualisieren.
angle I was calculating before.
Winkel 7, 5 Grad.
Okay, all lamps are on, everything is ready. Do we have... we don't have... well, whatever.
Rohr 1, bewässern. Rohr 3,
Set the
bewässern.
torpedoes.
Rohr 1 bewässert. Rohr 3 bewässert.
Okay, it's there. It's this one. Distance, let's update it. I don't need to update the speed. No, thank you.
Schussunterlagen aktualisieren. Geschwindigkeit, Knoten.
And yeah, I want to
Aktualisieren.
actualize this on 75. Very important to keep it, well, you can actually do okay, you will note that if I turn the periscope, this
0 Grad.
changes. The TDC calculates the proper change of angle in the bow, but it doesn't send it to the torpedoes. So now and then you will lose the lamp and you will have to recalculate it or resend it. See?
Aktualisieren. Winkel 7, 2 Grad.
You need to update it all the time. And as we remember, we need to shoot at 3, 4, 5. We are almost there. In fact, we are there.
Los!
Shoot. Okay, time to get the hell out of here.
Diese
top speed. Actually, I'm going to engage the diesel. If they see us, but they shouldn't be looking very hard. I mean, torpedoes are on the way, but they have no idea that we were here. Okay, so with this, we should be golden. Remember, it's very, very important that you constantly check the lamps. If the lamp is off, you have lost the ability to shoot. If you shoot with the Iron Goal update lamp off, which appears down here and here, you will miss. This is the thing that many people think is wrong in the TDC currently. It's not wrong. It's just that people don't know how to do it, which is perfectly okay. I mean, the German TDC was a pretty complex machinery and it's very well represented in this game. Okay. Yeah, we need to really put the distance out here, because as soon as those torpedoes connect, 1.6 kilometers, there was another guy over here, so I won't. Yeah. Okay, 2 torpedoes with a slight deviation. At this distance is more than 3 kilometers. It's normal that one of them doesn't connect. I mean, they should connect both, but if one of them misses, it's no big deal. I mean, I've been trying this with just single torpedo hits, torpedo shoots and hit. But yeah, the fan is a little bit too big. I'm not sure both are going to connect. But even if, you can see they are really going where they should. Alright, are you going to connect or not? Yeah, I think this is a hit. Seems so. Seems so. And a hit it is. Second torpedo. Yeah, just behind. Smaller angle would have done us good here. But yeah, he's going down. I don't like how fast they go in vanilla. I'm so used to the realistic sinking mode. Hopefully they release one soon. And there he goes, down he is. And now of course, yeah, here comes the star cells. Okay, it's time to make sure that these guys don't see us. They have their flashlights on. Over there was another, yeah, there it is. And there's another one over there, oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, I think we are going to make it. I mean, this submarine is amazing for surface action during the night. Just amazing. Yeah. They are reporting that they have been attacked. Tough luck. Okay, this flashlight is towards us, but the gun is not. No, doesn't seem to have seen us. Okay, what's going on the other side? Yeah, they're moving away. We got away with it, ladies and gentlemen. That's a hit and a sinking. And yeah, the most important thing is the purpose of this video, TDC. And as you can see, the TDC works wonders, works really well. The same the TDC mode, and the TDC mode was amazing. But of course, didn't have the initial. This is the early world version of the TDC. Most German submarines had until I think 1941. And the later version is much more evolved, because I think in that one you don't need to constantly update your angle on bow inputs. But there, come on, there, yeah. This is an inconvenience because you have to keep it updated all the time, and you have to update it just before shooting, because if for whatever reason this lamp goes off, there's a chance your torpedoes will miss. But yeah, oh, I think they've seen us. That was a splash. Oof. I think there was some kind of splash, I don't know. Or maybe I'm just... Well, those guns are not pointed at us. Sorry, this has nothing to do with the tutorial. You can go away if you want to. I will do some commentary more, some more commentary at the end about the TDC and the recommendation and all the stuff. But right now, what I need to do is to just move away. This guy is turning. I don't like that. Torpedoes. The only problem with it's so tiny and it's so difficult to see, but yeah, it was not of top speed. Well, actually it's more than like 14, but in these very choppy seas, yeah, it's not as good. I mean, Type 7 with the 17 knots of top speed, we would be much farther now. Around here, we would be well out of way. But of course, who knows? With the Type 7, we might have been seen by that destroyer that went past our bow. Electra is, yeah, it's worrying me. Not gonna lie. Let me check. How are we doing here? Well, it's behind us somewhat. Flashlight seems to be pointed the other way. And for the likes of it, star cells are around here and here, but not over here, so we shouldn't be seen. Then again, we are moving really fast, which of course is a problem because you leave a wake, and the faster you go, the bigger the wake. I'm going to slow down a bit, so this wake won't be as visible. We lose a little bit of speed, but we will be harder to spot. Of course, I could go under, but really, on the early war, the German submarines have such an advantage. Just sticking to the surface. That if you can do so, it's much better. Okay. Well, yeah. What I was saying. Yeah, there have been a lot of discussions in the U-boat forums about people who didn't know what they were doing wrong, and they thought the TDC was bad. No, it's not bad. It just works differently than the TDC mod. Which is understandable because that was a mod and wasn't fully integrated in the game, and also because this is not the TDC we had with the TDC mod, and the TDC mod included the old and the newer version of the TDC, the one that came from the Type 7C onwards, which makes sense because previously in this game there was only a Type 7C to be played, but now we have Type 2s, Type 7Bs, etc. Well, we have the older version, so that's the first, and the second is that, of course, they work differently. The S version, the newer version, is much more capable, and probably I will cover it further in the future because, yeah, right now I'm hooked to these little boats. They only have 5 torpedoes and only can shoot 3 at a time, but they are so fun. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed, I hope you had fun, I hope you learned something, and I hope you, well, enjoy your experience with U-boat with the new patch after seeing this video. I hope you now understand the German TDC better. Any questions you have in the comment section below, anything you want to say, share, etc. in the comment section below as well. And if you like this video, well, just give me the thumbs up and convince YouTube that my videos are worth watching. As always, guys, thank you very much for watching and see you later.